There is a harsh reality that few people are willing to admit. The more available you become, the less valuable you often appear. This truth feels uncomfortable because it seems to contradict everything we are taught. We are told that being constantly accessible makes us kind, dependable, and respected. We are encouraged to answer every message immediately, solve every problem presented to us, and make ourselves endlessly available to the demands of others. Yet life teaches a different lesson. The person who is always available is often taken for granted. Their time is assumed to have little value. Their attention becomes expected rather than appreciated. Their presence becomes ordinary because it is never scarce. The Stoics understood something that modern society frequently forgets. Value is closely connected to discipline, and discipline requires boundaries. A person without boundaries eventually loses ownership of their own life. Their schedule belongs to others. Their emotions belong to others. Their attention belongs to others. They wake each day reacting to external demands instead of directing their energy toward meaningful goals. This is where suffering begins, not because helping others is wrong, not because generosity lacks virtue, but because a life spent serving every request eventually leaves no time to cultivate one's own character. The Romance Stoics constantly emphasized the importance of guarding the mind. They knew that attention is a limited resource. Once scattered across countless distractions, it becomes difficult to recover. Think carefully about your own experience. How many opportunities have disappeared because your focus was consumed by problems that were never truly yours? How many hours have been lost satisfying expectations that contributed nothing to your growth? How many ambitions have remained unfinished because you were too busy responding to everyone else's priorities? Most people never ask these questions. Instead, they continue living reactively, believing availability is virtue while quietly sacrificing their peace. One of the greatest misunderstandings about strength is the belief that it requires constant presence. Many people fear saying no because they worry about disappointing others. They fear creating distance because they worry about being misunderstood. They fear withdrawing because they worry about losing approval. Beneath these fears lies a deeper problem. Their sense of worth has become dependent upon external validation. When people need you, you feel important. When people seek your advice, you feel valued. When people constantly contact you, you feel significant. But what happens when that attention disappears? For many individuals, anxiety immediately emerges. They begin questioning their worth because their identity was built upon being needed rather than being grounded. The Stoics warned against this dependence. They believed true confidence comes from internal character, not external demand. A person should know their value even in complete solitude. They should remain stable, whether praised or ignored, admired or forgotten. This idea is deeply connected to the Stoic principle known as the dichotomy of control. You control your actions. You control your principles. You control your effort. You do not control whether others appreciate those things. Once this distinction becomes clear, a remarkable transformation occurs. You stop making decisions based on whether others approve. You begin making decisions based on whether they align with your values. Sometimes that means becoming less available, not because you are selfish, because you are intentional. The disciplined individual understands that every yes is simultaneously a no to something else. Every commitment consumes time. Every obligation requires energy. Those resources are limited, and how you spend them ultimately determines the quality of your life. The ancient Stoics often practiced voluntary solitude, not because they hated people, but because they understood the importance of self-mastery. Modern life rarely encourages this. Today, silence feels uncomfortable to many people. A quiet moment is quickly filled with notifications, messages, videos, opinions, and endless stimulation. The mind becomes addicted to constant engagement. Yet a distracted mind struggles to develop wisdom. When you are always available, you rarely spend enough time alone to understand yourself. You know everyone else's opinions but remain unfamiliar with your own thoughts. This is dangerous. A person who cannot sit alone with themselves becomes vulnerable to external influence. They begin adopting beliefs they never examined. They pursue goals they never truly chose. They live according to expectations they never consciously accepted. The Stoic path requires something different. It requires periods of withdrawal, periods of reflection, periods of deliberate absence. These moments allow you to reconnect with your own judgment rather than the noise of the crowd. Marcus Aurelius wrote many of his reflections while carrying enormous responsibilities. Yet even amid political chaos and military conflict, he continually returned to solitude. He understood that clarity is impossible when the mind is constantly pulled in every direction. The same remains true today. Your greatest insights rarely arrive during distraction. They arrive during silence. Your strongest decisions rarely emerge from pressure. They emerge from reflection. Your most meaningful growth rarely occurs in public. It occurs in private, where discipline is built one choice at a time. There is another brutal truth about being always available. It attracts people who value access more than character. Many relationships operate on convenience rather than genuine respect. As long as you provide time, attention, solutions, or emotional support, people remain close. The moment you become unavailable, their attitude changes. This realization can be painful. You may discover that certain individuals never truly respected you. They simply enjoyed the benefits you provided. They appreciated your availability, not your character. The Stoics understood this aspect of human nature. They knew that adversity reveals the truth about people more effectively than comfort ever can. When everything is easy, loyalty is difficult to measure. When boundaries appear, reality becomes visible. Some people will respect your limits. Others will resent them. The difference tells you everything you need to know. This is why strategic absence can become a powerful teacher. When you stop making yourself endlessly accessible, you begin seeing relationships more clearly. You discover who values you as a person and who merely values your usefulness. The Stoic does not become bitter because of this discovery. Instead, they become wiser. They understand that expectations often create disappointment. People expect unlimited access because you trained them to expect it. Once boundaries appear, resistance is natural. Do not fear that resistance. Healthy boundaries do not destroy valuable relationships. They strengthen them. The people who genuinely respect you will adapt. They will recognize that your time has value. They will appreciate your presence rather than assume it. And perhaps most importantly, you will begin appreciating yourself. Because self-respect often begins with the courage to protect your own time. One of the most dangerous consequences of constant availability is that it slowly weakens discipline. Discipline requires concentration. Concentration requires uninterrupted time. Uninterrupted time requires boundaries. Without boundaries, long-term goals become nearly impossible to pursue consistently. Imagine a person attempting to build a business, master a craft, write a book, improve their health, or develop expertise in a demanding field. Such achievements require deep focus repeated over months and years. Now imagine that same person responding immediately to every distraction, every request, every notification, and every interruption. Progress becomes fragmented. Momentum disappears. The mind remains busy but accomplishes very little. This is one of the great illusions of modern life. Many people feel productive because they remain constantly occupied. In reality, they are merely reacting. The Stoics would not confuse activity with progress. They understood that meaningful achievement requires directing energy toward what truly matters rather than scattering it across endless demands. This is why disciplined individuals often appear unavailable. They are protecting something valuable: their focus, their mission, their development, their future. While others spend years reacting to circumstances, they spend years shaping themselves. The difference may not be visible immediately. In fact, disciplined people often seem invisible for long periods of time. They are working while others are talking, learning while others are debating, building while others are complaining. Then eventually the results emerge, and people call it success. What they fail to see are the countless moments of deliberate absence that made that success possible. Another lesson Stoicism teaches is that not every problem deserves your attention. This idea sounds simple, yet it is profoundly difficult to practice. Most people feel compelled to react to everything. Every criticism, every rumor, every disagreement, every provocation. They allow external events to dictate their emotional state. The Stoics rejected this approach entirely. Before investing energy into any situation, they asked a critical question. Is this within my control? If the answer was no, they refused to become emotionally enslaved by it. Consider how much suffering could be avoided by applying this principle consistently. Someone criticizes you unfairly. Can you control their opinion? No. Someone misunderstands your intentions. Can you force understanding? No. Someone dislikes you despite your best efforts. Can you command their approval? No. Then why surrender your peace? The person who is always available often becomes emotionally available to every problem as well. They absorb negativity that was never theirs to carry. The Stoic chooses differently. They focus on actions rather than reactions, character rather than reputation, reality rather than appearances. This mindset creates extraordinary resilience. Criticism loses much of its power. Praise loses much of its influence. External noise becomes less significant. The mind becomes calmer, stronger, more disciplined, and with that discipline comes freedom. Because freedom is not the ability to do whatever you want. Freedom is the ability to remain governed by your principles rather than by external pressures. The philosophy of amor fati offers another perspective on availability and personal growth. Many people resist difficult experiences. They resist rejection. They resist loneliness. They resist periods of isolation. Yet some of life's most transformative lessons emerge during exactly those moments. When you become less available, you may lose certain relationships. You may disappoint certain people. You may experience criticism. You may encounter loneliness. The average person interprets these experiences as signs that something has gone wrong. The Stoic sees them differently. They see them as opportunities to strengthen independence, opportunities to develop emotional resilience, opportunities to discover who they truly are when external validation disappears. Every challenge becomes training. Every obstacle becomes instruction. Every uncomfortable experience becomes material for growth. This is the essence of amor fati, not merely accepting fate, loving it, using it, transforming it into strength. The person who fears temporary discomfort often sacrifices long-term fulfillment. The person willing to endure temporary discomfort often gains lasting freedom. This principle applies to nearly every area of life. Physical fitness requires discomfort. Financial success requires sacrifice. Mastery requires repetition. Wisdom requires reflection. Character requires adversity. The Stoics understood that comfort is not always beneficial. Sometimes comfort becomes the very thing preventing growth. Strategic absence often feels uncomfortable at first. Yet within that discomfort lies the possibility of transformation. Ultimately, the brutal truth about being always available is not that people will misuse your time. The deeper truth is that you may begin misusing it yourself. You may forget that your attention is valuable. You may forget that your energy is limited. You may forget that your life has a purpose beyond satisfying the expectations of others. The Stoics wanted people to remember something essential. Your time is finite. Every hour spent cannot be recovered. Every day invested in distraction is permanently gone. This realization is not meant to create fear. It is meant to create clarity. The person who understands the value of time becomes more intentional, more disciplined, more focused, more selective. They stop saying yes automatically. They stop reacting compulsively. They stop allowing external demands to dominate their lives. Instead, they align their actions with their highest values. They invest energy where it matters most. They protect their attention. They cultivate self-mastery. And gradually, they discover a powerful truth. You do not need to be available to everyone in order to be valuable. You do not need to answer every demand in order to be worthy. You do not need to sacrifice your peace in order to earn respect. Your value does not come from constant accessibility. It comes from character, from discipline, from wisdom, from the ability to remain faithful to your principles regardless of external pressure. So the next time you feel guilty for protecting your time, remember this. The strongest people are not always the most available. They are the most intentional. They know where their energy belongs. They know what deserves their attention. And they understand a lesson that most people spend years learning. A life directed by purpose will always accomplish more than a life controlled by endless availability.